Welcome back to another episode of your Digi Hustle News. As always, I'm Wade Teamer. Today is officially Bitcoin Day. Today is the day that Bitcoin officially becomes a form of legal tender in the world, specifically in El Salvador. All right, this has been the biggest news of the week. It's going to be the biggest news all over YouTube, but there's a portion of it that isn't going to be spoken about. But in this video, I'm going to be sure to tell you because that's not the only thing going on in El Salvador when it comes to crypto. All right. But we're going to start with what everybody is talking about. El Salvador buying Bitcoin publicly in bulk. All right. Monday, it was announced that they bought their first 200. Then in the wee hours of the evening last night, they bought another 200. All right. Laying the catalyst for the events that we are going to have today. But there was another event that occurred 6 days before all of this. A deal was struck between El Salvador and ALGO. All right. Now, once we piece everything together by the end of this video, it's all going to make a lot of sense because, of course, if you're going to accept Bitcoin payments, Bitcoin doesn't necessarily have a payment. It's a peer-to-peer payment coin. Yes, payment currency, but it doesn't necessarily have a system besides the Lightning Network that is specifically designed to transmit payments. Algorand does. But let's start in El Salvador, stating El Salvador creates history after buying 400 Bitcoin. It says El Salvador's president Nayib Bukele has revealed that the Central American country has successfully purchased 200 units of Bitcoin on Monday. This makes the country the first government in the world to invest in the crypto space publicly. The president hinted that this could be the first of many purchases because its brokers will be buying a lot more as the deadline approaches. Later in the day, he revealed that the country bought more Bitcoin, taking its total holdings to 400 units of the digital king. And there's the tweet there. But as we know, El Salvador is expected to officially legalize the use of Bitcoin today after it became the first country to recognize the coin as a legal tender earlier in the year. Since then, President Bukele has constantly reiterated his belief that the asset would make remittance to the country easier. It's a key word there. Faster and cheaper, and at the same time, do a lot of good for the country's economy and society. Now, this whole thing did not go over easy. Okay. I was always hearing about people that were highly opposed to this, some big players, most notably the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, who say that adopting BTC could have a negative impact. Recently, the country has witnessed some level of opposition from locals who highlighted the issue of volatility attached to the asset, plus its use by criminals. Now, that specific line there just kind of highlights the lack of education of Bitcoin and digital assets. That's simply what that is. People are just naturally rebelling to things they don't understand. But that is why there are people like me and other YouTubers who are coming together and getting this information out there. Now, there are some indications that the country could have made the purchase through the $150 fund that they had set aside for the adoption of BTC as legal tender. The purchase could also be geared towards its plan of giving each citizen of the country $30 worth of the asset. Yes, that is going on today too. As a matter of fact, there is a community growing on Reddit that is looking to add to this. Brazil is looking to take part in this thing too. Like, as Bitcoin Day, it's going to be a thing now every year on September 7th that everybody just buys $30 worth of Bitcoin. Now, it's interesting because, and we'll take a look at the markets, you know how we do before every video, but we actually had we ran up, of course, throughout the night, peaked out at, let me pull up the weekly again, peaked out at around 52K, but we recently pulled back down to 50,000. Now, here's what I think happened in that particular situation was the fact that, okay, yeah, You're giving people free Bitcoin. They don't know what to do with it. They just know it's money. And if you gave it to them at the right time, they probably made more than that $30 and then they immediately took it out. It's natural. Okay. But this is going to be a continuation of events. Okay. This is just the beginning of this whole thing. Now, let's get to the interesting part. Okay. Because all of this Bitcoin has to be transacted on some kind of blockchain, some kind of system. There has to be some kind of system to support this. And I like how 6 days prior to this happening, that would be September 1st, the Koi banks, just wanted to make sure I honed in on that pronunciation, but Koi banks development signed a deal with El Salvador to develop the government's blockchain infrastructure on Algorand. Would explain Algorand's slight pump too over the last week. Kind of feels like insider knowledge, but let me share it with you. It states that Koi Banks, a leading Latin American asset tokenization and blockchain financial infrastructure company, announced today that it has signed an cooperation agreement with the government of El Salvador, the sovereign nation that uses the US dollar, to develop its blockchain infrastructure on top of Algorand's technology. Koi Bank chose to leverage Algorand's blockchain in several recent national public and private initiatives across Latin America, including the national blockchain-based COVID certificate program, a point-of-sale credit issuance system, and various smart contract financing platforms. Designed for broad participation across a variety of use cases, Algorand's technology provides the performance, scalability, security, and functionality required to implement large-scale projects around the world. Koi Bank is making strides across Latin America to bring more efficient infrastructure and tools to the region. Now, a little bit of background about Koi Bank. It's been around since 2015. They help banks and financial institutions integrate crypto into their banking cores while connecting financial products through blockchain infrastructure. Payments, factoring, and the tokenization of a variety of financial assets can be executed more efficiently and securely on the Koi Bank platform. Now, why this isn't the biggest story, along with El Salvador making Bitcoin legal, well, that's obvious. They clearly don't want us knowing about it. But had to piece this together for you guys because as I watched it unfold, I was kind of mind blown. I was like, this is just as important as Bitcoin being made legal tender. No one was asking the question, how are they going to move all this Bitcoin? Well, you can thank Algorand for that. Makes sense as to why Algorand was chosen by the World Economic Forum. But let's take a look at some price action before we get up out of here, guys. The weekly, I am not fearing this this correction at all. I am not fearing it at all. As you can see, it's barely even a dent. 3%, that's nothing, guys. That's people selling that $30 worth of Bitcoin because they don't know what else to do with it. Okay. So not worried at all. We are still in safe territory. As you can see, we're even starting to contract a bit. These bands, we're still starting to contract a bit. So you know what that's the beginning of. A springboard, okay? Launch pad. We're going to the moon. On the daily, you can see the effects of the sell-off there. We pulled back down under the red line, but we're still in that contraction, okay? So I still feel like this is going to be safe. Even down at the bottom, you can still see it there. Contraction, and we're moving up, and we're still on the top side of the red line when it comes to, price action on the daily. So I still feel like we're in a safe position. But I want to show you something else, guys. Our random arbitrary blue line is a line of destiny. It wasn't the weekly that it was charting. It was the monthly. Okay, look at this. Started that line directly from the deepest point when we had the dip back in May. And ever since then, right then and there. So if this blue line is to be trusted, then September is going to see us leave 60K. We're going to be at 60,000 by the time we get out of September. And then once we get into October, we should be 65, 68. Okay. November, 70, 72. We'll finally see that 72. So November 2nd, 72. Okay. Don't hold me to it though. And we just keep going on and on until major sell-off at the beginning of January, and we go back into another cycle. The cycle repeats. So everything is looking good. The blue line of destiny is probably going to take us into 2022, but let's look at ALGO really quickly. Let's see here. There he is. All right. On the monthly. That's sketchy looking. Still looks good though. Still looks good. Zooming out for the weekly. Oh yeah, that's a pretty clean setup. Little contraction there, just the beginnings of it. So we have over the next couple of weeks, September is actually shaping up to look pretty good according to these charts, guys. And every day I wake up, there's another headline that's just reinforcing that. So the charts are showing that September is going to be pretty good despite what it looks like right now. Algorand on the weekly has plenty room. You can see up here on the RSI, we have broken above the red line and we are looking to go. We are ready to go, guys. So let's check out the daily. Yep, you see the market was affected by Bitcoin's retrace, but we're still forming an uptrend for Algorand. So this is going to look good. You can see a little contraction there. I am excited about what's to come. But big news of the day, guys, at Digital News. El Salvador signs a corporate agreement with Koi Bank to build on Algorand. And they're telling everyone that they're just making Bitcoin legal tender and not letting them know the inner workings. Man, that is why I do what I do. But if you found value in this video, guys, make sure you hit that like button. And of course, subscribe so that way you never miss an update on global crypto adoption with a global perspective. Gotta love it, guys. But if you want to get in contact with me directly, all the links will be down in the description. And I have created a new, what will I call this? Landing page? New landing page. You can find it in the new link section in my about tab. It's real easy. I've streamlined the entire crypto process for you. One link, all 7 of my crypto partners, all the resources there for you. Abra, KuCoin, Coinbase, Crypto.com, Pipeflare, MyR Wallet. Just added that. Want to check that out. You get $10 free in Elron when you sign someone else up. So definitely trying to share that value with you guys, as well as the, let's see, got Pipeflare on there. Got Vault. They just added a heap ton of new assets. Got a video coming out about that too. So all that being said, guys, great resources for you. Thank you for coming back to the channel. As always, it's Bitcoin Day, so I got my Bitcoin shirt on. Let's celebrate. Buy $30 worth of Bitcoin and probably put it on Algorand. So that's how you get your spread. But with all that being said, guys, I want you to have a great day. Have a prosperous day. Most importantly, make that money. I'll see y'all in the next one.